Dropping that knowledge on you.
I could not make this shit up.
With Kev Nash.
Oh, Hercules.
DJ Killer Kev.
Boss.
And Dizzle.
Let me tell you, boys, you can't make that shit up.
The inside. Real deal, straight up.
Are you crazy?
Hottest stories from the world of hip-hop.
This is Ludacris.
It's the big boss, Rick Ross.
What up? It's your boy Young Jeezy. This is 50 Cent.
Sports.
Some of those dunks were the most incredible dunks I've ever seen.
And what's popping in the DYT.
I couldn't make this shit up. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. I'm sad that I lack the talent to make this shit up.
Here's Kev Nash, DJ Killer Kev, and Dizzle.
You Can't Make This Up podcast, Kev Nash.
DJ Killer Kev.
Hey, Dizzle.
Episode
374.
Yeah. You know what? Normally we do the intros, we catch up, see how the week was and everything like that. But we got a guest today, and we got a very, very hot topic that had a chokehold on everybody this week.
Certified chokehold.
Shouts out to the good brother Mark Gregory joining us on the pod today. We gonna catch up with him because he got a show in Columbus this weekend, man. But we got to get to the topic of du jour, man. Katt Williams versus everybody. Katt Williams versus everybody. So, Killer, can you bring everybody up to speed? What's been going on with the good brother Katt Williams?
So yeah, it looks like Dayton and Cincinnati's own, apparently. Mr. Katt Williams was on Club Shay Shay, for those that don't know, it's Shannon Sharp's pod. And 2+ hours worth of content from Ricky Smiley to Ced the Entertainer to Kevin Hart to Chris Tucker to Faison to Earthquake to
everybody.
Steve Harvey, everybody. And it took me 3 days to watch it. I couldn't watch it all in one take, but I did check it out, and he really just went in, man. Just kind of put his 2 cents on a lot of topics and how he felt certain things went, and certain the movie aspect of it that he wrote. He tried to it kind of started there with the Ricky Smiley should have been Money Mike and Santa Claus switch type thing. So kind of let it go from there because we can keep going, but we can.
Yeah. My first question is: did everybody watch the whole 2 hours and 46 minutes?
I did.
Dizzle, we know you did. Dizzle just here for the highlights.
Yeah,
bro. All right. So I go on Instagram and I see a clip. I'm like, okay, this shit's funny. Just keep scrolling. I see another clip, and then none of these are about the same topic. And I'm telling you, I've seen at least 30 to 40 clips. I'm like, do I need to watch this 2.5 hour interview? I've seen enough clips. Do I need to go back?
What about you, Mark? Did you watch it all?
Yeah, I watched all of it, man. Yeah.
Ooh, how long did it take you?
I think it was one sitting.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it was like engaging. You know what I mean? It was kind of hard to stop though.
Yeah, I got 45 minutes to go. I watched an hour of it like on Friday and then another hour of it on Saturday, but I wasn't able to watch the last 45 minutes before the pod, man. But from what I got from everything like that, the real hot stuff, the spicy stuff was in the first 30 minutes. Like he just came out swinging, man. What did y'all think about that?
I'm here for it, man. Rightfully so, because he's responding to things that the other comedians he's been talking about that have said on Club Shay Shay previously, like Cedric the Entertainer's been on there talking his shit. Steve, Kevin Hart, all of these folks have been on Club Shay Shay and gave their 2 cents. Katt just giving his perspective, man.
Yeah. I definitely feel like Katt was, saying his side of things, but being that Mark, our guest, is definitely a comedian extraordinaire himself. Do you feel like the question I really wanted to ask is about the jokes with Ced the Entertainer and Katt? One used I think a spaceship, and one used an old school car. Everything else is kind of standard black behavior. But I kind of just wanted to know, like, is that something that you see and deal, and is that something that that is that really that deep? That one
No,
joke.
100%. So I saw the joke. I saw the one that Kat did on Comic View, and of course, we all saw what Cedric did on Kings of Comedy.
Mhm.
I could see like where the inspiration came from, but I feel like it necessarily wasn't like close enough for me to say he stole it. But I could definitely see the inspiration. But to answer your question, in the comedy community, 100%, that is a fightable offense. You know what I mean? Like if
Mhm.
somebody jacks your joke, especially one that could be like career altering, you know what I mean? Like, because you could do
Mhm.
a spot, go to a club and get a TV deal off of one particular joke, And when you think about like the process it takes to refine a joke, there's a joke that I do now, and I started doing it in like 2019, but it didn't get polished until 2021. You know what I mean? So this is like
Mhm.
me just working this particular joke for 2 years. And if somebody stole it, oh yeah, I'm gonna be tight,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so to answer your question, yes, in our community, people have gotten beat up over stolen jokes.
Okay.
So my kind of follow up to that, I kind of look at comedy, and please tell me if I'm wrong because I'm not a
Mhm.
comedian. So correct me if I'm wrong. I almost look at like jokes is like how the dunk contest is. I think we've seen every dunk imaginable. We've seen dudes jump from the free throw line, and basically Dr. J jumped from the free throw line. Jordan did it, but he remixed it with the cockback, and then Zach LaVine remixed it with a windmill. We didn't see J.R. Ryder back in the day do the East Bay dunk with the between the legs. So then what younger dudes do, they kind of remix it. Is that kind of like what people are Cat is talking about? Like he's saying he stole his joke, where I'm viewing it as, Cedric took the joke as inspiration and remixed it.
So Cat was so I definitely see what you're saying, but there are two different ways. Like there are some people who would just like flat out steal your joke. Like I've had people steal my joke, no remixing, And then there's some where it's like, I see what you tried to do, but that's still my joke. You know what I mean? Like you just changed the word and you think that it's now your joke. So no, it seemed like Cat wasn't saying he remixed it. He just said he stole his particular joke. You know what I mean? He was very direct about that.
Mhm.
But yeah, that is a thing that some people will try to, add a few little twists and say they came up with it. But it's like, nah, bro, we know whose joke that is. But the wild part is though, yo, the internet is undefeated. They came up with receipts, right? Because
Ooh.
remember the comedy special that Cedric the Entertainer did in Nashville in 2016, the Bominicious joke. And then at the end, he
Hmm.
said, he said his name CJ, but you can call me by my initials. Yo, who is the person who went to like guiding women or whatever,
Designing women.
Designing
designing
women,
women,
man. Jizzle
season
ain't even old
two,
enough to know about designing
yeah,
women.
season two, episode 7, and found where they stole that from Meshack Taylor. So that in and of itself, I think once we saw that, we kind of saw that he lost some of his credibility there.
Yeah. So that you kind of spoke on it, the directness of Cat. Do you like? I have a lot of well, not a lot. I have some comedian friends, and I feel like the directness that Cat was given throughout this entire interview was more than just it was really a personal thing, but he was trying to come off as like I'm grown. Like, do you have a particular time in your chase of this where you've had to like get busy with somebody over some jokes? Like, have you had to
Yeah, so listen, this is all right. So I had to check a couple before, like a husband and a wife
Wow.
together. So man, I used to do this joke where it was like the joke was nothing would make you call on God, like getting pulled over by the police. So I act like I'm driving this car, and I had the See Murder down for my song playing. So it's like and then I had my boy splice it where maybe like after 10 seconds to the instrumental, you hear a police siren like whoop whoop. So then I act like I'm turning my radio down, and I start driving like I see the police. And then after that, a gospel song comes on, I Need You Now. Because that's what we do. You know what I mean? Like the police get behind you,
right.
start praying, and you like, Lord, come on, let me get this ticket. So that joke is very specific.
Right.
So I used to host before I moved up here. I was hosting at the Columbus Funny Bone from like 2013 to 2019. A chick, exact same joke with the music and everything.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, yo, listen, there is no way that this is happenstance. Cool. So now we got to address this major infraction. So I said, yo, let me holler at you. So her husband came. I said, listen, you stole my joke. And if you do it again, I'm going to humiliate you. Just letting you know right now, I'm going to humiliate you. So if she did it again, what I was going to do was I was going to watch her do the joke. And I was going to go on stage behind her and say, that was a horrible version of this joke. This is how you do it. But she didn't do it again. But her husband was like, nah, I promise, man. That. And I'm like, yo, bro, listen, what are we talking about? Then again, it's another comedian. He's from Ohio. And somebody called me and was like, yo, this dude did your joke in New Jersey. You know what I mean? So like all of the New York, New Jersey comedians, we know each other. So somebody hit me and I called him and talked to him about it. He was like, no, you could see the tape. I said, I don't have to see a tape because so no, that is one of those things where, yeah, I feel like you got to deal with it head on because this is your intellectual property and you just can't let nobody jack you like that.
Yeah.
But the other part of it is, it's really nothing that you can do either.
Right.
You know, the other part is you can either fight the person or if you are creative, just keep coming up with stuff. But the other thing is this, though, I will say this. So around, was this like when Bernie Sanders was running? I was doing a joke and I was on tour, right? And this guy was like, you need to put that on YouTube immediately, right? So it is important to have a timestamp. So if I'm doing a joke, put it on YouTube, even if you don't make it public, just make it private. So if there is this back and forth discussion of who came up with it first, you can have your receipts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about that because, like, if you we all been to school, man. If you plagiarize, what I'm saying, somebody's work, what I'm saying, it's documented. If you know what I'm saying, but like with comedians, like you guys really don't have that. Like you said, you've been working on jokes since 2015, and you're still perfecting them. It may have been something you done in 2010, and you remixed it for today's time, and like somebody come and take it from you, and they take your joke and they blow up with it. Like that would be heartbreaking.
Yeah, and it would. And you know the rule is that you're not supposed to keep doing it, right? Like if said celebrity does your joke, you're supposed to stop once they put it on TV. I'm not stopping. Yeah, just because you did my joke. So I'm gonna let you kill me twice. You stole it, put it on TV, and I'm just listen. No, I'm gonna keep doing mine. I don't care what nobody say.
Go ahead.
Do you appreciate the directness that Katt Williams came with all these, like, it wasn't no guessing who you're talking about? Like, do you appreciate that? Or like in the comedy world, what does that do to one another?
No, 100%. Because I mean, the other thing is this though, right? So during the interview, one of the things he said I have an obligation to be funny and to be entertaining. And he was both. Was everything that he said in the 2 hours and 46 minutes 100% true? I don't think so. You know what I mean? But the thing is, the joint has 22 million views right now. We're talking about it right now. So his mission was accomplished. And then a couple years ago, Charlemagne said this on the Breakfast Club. He said, yo, sometimes the lie is more entertaining than the truth. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's the space where we are, when it comes to podcasts and radios, you just got to be entertaining. You know what I mean? Say something that's kind of, sensational and people run with it. Yeah. If I just come up here and be like, yeah, I mean, I stole Kev's wallet. That's not entertaining. You know what I mean? I got to put some sauce on it, like, bruh, and then that is going to be way more entertaining. So to answer your question, yeah, you know what I mean? And I think, Katt is one of those guys. Honestly, he kind of reminds me in the sense of my uncle, a person who has convictions and they stand on them. And the other parts of the interview where he alluded to was, people doing whatever it takes, to acquire certain levels of fame. And some people are willing to do something, some are not. Obviously, he's one of those dudes that, he is content where he is career-wise, and he's been, at the crossroads of do this and go further, and he chose to, hold true to his morals.
Yeah.
another thing that he was talking about was Said. Said really got it. Said got it bad. From the stealing the joke to him allegedly not writing his own jokes. Like, in hip hop music now, like it don't matter who writes your rhymes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like coming up in the 90s and stuff, like that was important. Like, but I would imagine still in comedy, like it's important that the guy telling the joke is actually writing the joke. Am I mistaken?
Nah, no. I mean, it never really mattered, because some of the greatest comedians have all had writers. Paul Mooney wrote with and for Richard Pryor,
Okay.
So no, that's definitely a thing, is that comedians have writers, and the bigger you get, like somebody like said, once you start doing movies and TV, you don't have as much time to create. So you have people, and I'm cool with a couple of people that write for said, but it's almost like just don't. But it's a difference between having a team of writers and stealing material. I think the issue was with the theft, and if you're gonna steal, don't get caught. You know what I mean? So like.
Right.
Another thing Katt was talking about, you're a former track athlete.
Mhm.
And he said
I don't believe he ran 4.3, dog. There's no way this dude ran. Come on, man.
Did y'all not see the video? I think it came out today.
I saw the video where he was running at University of Memphis.
That form was not 4.464.
It wasn't 4.3. He ran the length of a basketball court, which is 90 feet, right?
Yes.
That's not 40 meters. And the dude showed the clock like 4.3. I said, bro, you ran 4.3 in 90 feet. I don't know what that equates to over 40 yards, but it's not 4.3.
Right.
That shit funny though. He was moving, and in that episode of Atlanta, he was the alligator man. He was moving at
that
the
episode
end.
of Atlanta was hysterical, man. Yeah, but I think the dopest thing about him is that you heard all of these stories about his generosity come forward. So, and I know firsthand. He's from Dayton. You all know Clayton Perkins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know that, yeah.
Yo, listen. Clayton had been doing comedy for 2 years. This is maybe 2011. And he was living in Arizona. Katt came through Arizona and he was like, oh, snap, you from Dayton? Took him on tour with him for maybe a little bit over a year. I mean, put major bread in his pocket. Clayton only had to do 15 minutes. And he was paying, no, I'm sorry. He paid him $1,500 for 10 minutes. Your second year of comedy, you know what I mean? Like, that is absolutely insane. So I've heard nothing but like stories of generosity and just other, like most of these stories I've heard, where even one comedian named Richie Redding, he's a white dude, and he was like, yo, I was dead broke. Katt took me on tour with him for like 5 to 6 tours and changed his life completely.
So as a comedian, stuff like this has got to be gold. You know what I'm saying? You got a show coming up in Columbus very soon. So like, are you working on new stuff since this drop? Because I mean, I seen Mike Epps posting stuff from a recent show that he just had last night. I seen Sydney post some stuff from a show he had this weekend talking about it already. Like, how fast are y'all just working on this stuff since this interview dropped?
You know what? I haven't wrote anything about that per se. No, I haven't. I haven't even thought about any different angles, but I did write a joke about did you all hear about these aliens that were supposed to be in Miami?
In Miami, yeah.
Yeah, I wrote about that. You know what I mean? Like, just coming from the perspective of like, yo, it's wild that, these got to be some like nigga aliens, dog. Like, your first stop in America is you going to Miami. And they were seen at the mall. Come on, man. What aliens going to the mall buying Gucci, dog? You know what I mean? So, so that's some stuff I've been working on. And I wrote another joke about like, man, I have kids, and it's so crazy because if you have kids, one of the conversations that we have with them is like they don't realize how good they have it, right? Like our generation, we went to the doctor, but a lot of stuff you just had to like power through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about it, dog, we've all seen the movie Forrest Gump, right?
Mm-hmm.
When looking back, Forrest Gump was on the spectrum, dog. Like he was a high functioning autistic person, but there was no diagnosis. He just had to figure it out and move on about his life. So I'm working on material about that. But because I feel like I think you could write like a line or two, but to write like multiple jokes about this situation when it's gonna be old news in a week, it's kind of like, yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, how do you as a comedian address current events? Like something crazy happened on a Thursday and you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday night shows. Do you touch on that stuff or do you just
Yeah, you do. But with the cat situation, I just didn't. Nothing in my head popped up with like a funny angle or a funny
right?
take.
No,
So
yeah,
yeah, but no,
I just meant in general. In
yeah.
general, do
Oh no,
you
no, no. In general, yeah, you do. I think like you jump on it immediately, especially if you posting content. Because I feel like the window is about 2 to 3 days. If it happens at
definitely
8 o'clock, at 8:01, you better be working on something because at 8:30, the rest of the world, you
Quick.
competing with all of the comedians and creators and stuff like that. But yeah, you do.
speaking of content, when we gonna get Mark running around, New York like we used to do on the Bird?
Man, so here's the thing, dog. You can't. These people do crazy, bro. Like you can't. The stuff that I could do at the crib is completely different, right?
Right.
But the other thing here is being crazy and dating, like you getting attention. Here, you could do the wildest stuff. Nobody would pay attention to you because that's just another day in New York City, dog. Like I was
Right.
on the subway one day. Like I watched a dude smoke crack on the subway. Nothing. Nobody said anything to him. I've seen the dude pull his penis out on the subway and start peeing. Nothing. So me running around the street with my t-shirt off and some Timberlands, that's just like he's just another crazy individual.
Right. Right.
Man, what's up with the show in Columbus, man?
Man, so the show is gonna be at the Attic in Columbus at 7 o'clock. The Attic is a real dope comedy venue. So yeah, I'm gonna be working on some new stuff, man, because I'm gearing up for another special, which I'm thinking about recording in probably like early April. So yeah, that's what I'm on right now. It's just kind of working on new-ish to like polishing up existing material. So that's it.
Yeah, man. I did want to ask you one more thing about the whole Katt Williams thing, man. He he started talking the Illuminati. He's talking about industry plants with Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart kind of mini responded on ESPN doing his live watch of the NBA. Like, where did you come at with all that industry plant stuff?
So, being serious, I feel like I don't necessarily have like a workable definition of an industry plant. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you all can help me with that. I feel like I have an idea. So it's this person that so yeah, I don't know. I will say this. If there is one, I don't think Kevin is one because I remember seeing him like early 2002 on like Comedy Central and thinking like, yo, dude is funny. And if you've seen his story, he left Philly, he came to New York, grinded in this market for a long time. So, I mean, as much as Kat can say about him, Kevin, I could definitely say, he worked hard and paid his dues. Other people, I do think if we're talking you can't say that Sexy Red isn't one. Because
Got some
listen,
bangers.
nah, man, listen, she has no redeemable qualities, yo. Like, and I'm not even trying to drag her. She's not attractive. You know what I mean? The music is the most low hang. My coochie pink, my booty hole brown. Come on, dog. I mean, yeah. So I can't think of somebody who in comedy would be one, but you can't tell me she's not.
My dude says she's not sexy, she's not light skinned, so she's not red. So like, where did this name come from? So
Where did this name come? And I mean, like the fact that she is like amplifying any and every black stereotype. The shorty is legitimately pregnant performing. She gets on stage, takes her shoes off, and I mean, it's just and look, white people are just like, yes, that is where we want you colors that embarrassing yourself. Come on, now.
Right.
What part of the game is this, yo?
I feel like Dizzle really loved that Katt Williams interview. I think Dizzle think Katt was spitting nothing but facts.
Facts, man, and it was just a beautiful interview for the fact that it was as funny as a special. Like you got the comedians responding, but they're not funny in their responses. Sad came out. He seemed like he was humbly just trying to keep the peace. I think I saw Ricky Smiley crying, on camera. Like comedians, fight back. You know what I'm saying? Ludacris dropped some bars. I thought that was a proper response from a rapper.
I think the other piece though is this though. They have way more to lose than Katt does, So Steve has multiple TV shows as well as radio, and he's on network TV. Cedric is on network TV. Ricky Smiley is on the radio. Katt has tours, So in terms of that, he doesn't have he is a lot more unrestricted compared to those other people. You know what I mean? And yeah, like I said, he don't have anything to lose, and that's the most dangerous person is the chick who has nothing to lose.
He kind of like the people's champ.
He's the people's champ. Yeah, he definitely is the people's champ.
One thing I did want to say about the Katt Williams and the whole Ricky Smiley thing, man. I mean, I've never been an actor, but I'm a big movie buff, man. There's plenty of people that audition for roles, and it's the casting director's responsibility to plug the right person in that role. So just because Ricky Smiley auditioned for Money Mike doesn't necessarily mean that, he was gonna be Money Mike. And Katt Williams, like Ice Cube said, is we do the script and then we let the comedians be comedians. Of course. Why would we restrict the comedian? Hey man, you read the script, go ahead and do your thing. Like Cameron, when they did Paid in Full, they did a take of him reading the script. God damn, what was that?
Yo, whose Wolverine is that?
That's my dog. He sees somebody coming up, man.
Hey, hold on. Listen, this how I know it was your dog. Did you see he did the black man play it off like, ha, yeah, that's mine.
Everybody else was like,
yeah, right. Hey, I was just waiting on them to say, hey, don't get scared, y'all. He ain't gonna bite. Yeah, he ain't gonna bite you, but he ain't gonna bite.
Right, man.
But no, you right.
Yeah,
though. I mean, common sense will tell you is that Katt Williams made a much better pimp than Ricky Smiley. That's not even up for conversation.
Right.
Absolutely, man.
The other piece though is what did you all think about he made the comments about black people, specifically black comedians wearing dresses. What do you think about that?
Okay. So I get it. I understand. But I'm old enough to remember when Tom Hanks had that show Bosom Buddies. He was in a dress. Robin Williams, Miss Doubtfire. What was dude? I forget his name. He played a woman in Tootsie. So this ain't nothing new. They put men in dresses all the time. White men, black men. It's always kind of a weird thing in Hollywood that they want to put guys in dresses and make it think it's funny. I wouldn't do the shit, but I get what he's trying to come across with saying, but this is nothing new, man. People think it's funny, and I'm talking about shows that came out in the 70s and 80s, and they still doing it in 2023. So apparently it's a population that thinks it's funny.
My man with the locks, I'm sure as a member of the Hotep community, he's like, this is abomination.
I was thinking that I felt that way until good old internet comes through with a 5-minute montage of the white comedians wearing dresses that I didn't know of. I'm not aware of. I always thought that he brought up Martin and Big Mama's House. Do we have to do this? I know Dave Chappelle spoke out about his role in Blue Streak. But when they showed the 5-minute montage, that pretty much canceled my argument that they targeting black folks when they don't seem like it.
See, the one thing I've always had a question with is some people's personalities, they might be okay with that, but I hate the forced question or the casting director, the AD, the assistant director, the 5 people going on the line trying to pressure somebody into doing something. That's where
no means no.
Yeah,
right, 100%. Yeah,
that's where it gets a little funky for me, because some people we've already named, they've made a career of Tyler Perry was Tyler Perry because he wanted to be Madea. So there's people that don't mind that, but seeing Method Man in one, I doubt. You know what I'm saying? You just know the personality of the person. So.
Yeah. So I think Kev, you said this. I definitely noted like Dave Chappelle when he did that interview on Oprah, kind of like changed the paradigm as it pertains to like black people with the how we perceive the dress. Because to everybody's point, yeah, prior to that, I mean, even going back to what's my man who played Geraldine? Remember the old black comedian?
Yeah.
And he had the sketch show before Richard Pryor had
Yeah.
the sketch show. He did Geraldine, so many other people. But then after Dave Chappelle told that story, it kind of like opened up a lot of people's eyes and was like, oh yeah, Hollywood does do this. I mean, me personally, I think like if you're gonna do it, I think it's cool amongst multitude of characters, you know. So if you're playing like a homeless dude in this instance, if you're doing a sketch show, you playing a homeless man, a crackhead, a pastor, a pimp, and a woman, you know, that makes sense because it's a full set of characters. But if you just jump out with that dress on, whew.
Right.
I mean, out of all of us that's on the pod today, man, you would be the one that would be presented with that opportunity.
Wow, you just gonna throw it at me like that?
I feel like back in the day, I've seen a video of you downtown doing something with some heels.
Nah. See, look, this how stuff gets started right here. No, you know my brother. Man, I would have to decline, man. Because then what if all the roles after that, now you the dude in a pencil skirt, like you pencil skirt man? Nah, man, come on, dog. That's
I gotta a terrible way to be typecast.
Yeah, I gotta come back to the city, man. I don't want to be pencil skirt, man. But all right, but look though, what if it's a $20 million bag to be pencil skirt, man? Kev, what you gonna do?
Me?
Both of y'all.
Coming from where I'm from, I'm gonna need one of them 20s in my life. So I'm gonna
how you doing?
Right? Actual. Hey man, I know who I am.
How's it go?
That's funny.
I know who I am, dog. It's all good. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. I got bills to pay, bro.
Yeah.
But shoot, man, definitely want to talk to you about some football and what's going on in the NBA. You cool to stick around?
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. We talk NFL. I have not watched the NBA game at all. So
don't worry. We'll keep it brief. Long as well, just to let everybody know, the Steelers are in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? They won. They won yesterday. They beat the Ravens on the road yesterday. And then shouts out to the Tennessee Titans for taking care of business today, knocking out Jacksonville. So the Steelers are 10-7, headed to the playoffs.
But let's be honest, though, that was the Lamar Jackson. That was the Lamar Jackson-less win.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Lamar is the MVP of the league. They ran away with the AFC
for the second time.
Second time. I think he's the best quarterback in the NFL. When you got that many wins, you rest your players, and guess what? We're going to take full advantage.
Yeah.
As you should.
But man, go ahead.
What y'all think about have you all seen LeBron James' son play at USC? Have you seen any of those clips?
He look all right. He ain't no superstar, but he got some tools to work with. I like what I'm seeing.
For a kid who just had a heart attack. I mean,
absolutely.
Black people is hard. Like he was like, I mean, he cool. I'm like, yeah, he cool for somebody that had a heart attack 4 months ago.
Yeah.
So like you was talking about, the internet is undefeated. So there's this graphic they showed on a recent game, and like USC stars, and they had their number one scorer, 16 points a game, 8 rebounds. Their number one, their point guard, 15 points, 8 assists a game, and they had Bronny Pitcher, great teammate. I was like, damn, dude, that is they doing young boy dirty, man. Like, but just don't put him up there on the graphic.
But here's the thing, though. He is playing with some killers, though. You know what I mean? Like the guys on their team, I think I mean, he had like the number 1 and the number 2 guard went to USC. So it's not like he's sitting behind some slouches, though.
No doubt. Shaq is getting his number 32 retired for the Orlando Magic on February 13th. He's going to be the first player from the Orlando Magic to get his jersey retired.
Long overdue. Long overdue. I mean, Shaq is who he is. Top 10, maybe the second best center of all time. Should have been happened.
Yeah. That's
That should
also my fault. Go ahead.
go ahead.
That's how you know when you getting old. When they start doing you like the celebration tour, that is definitely like when you get up in age, when they start retiring your jerseys from the team that you didn't even finish with.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, but from the fan side of things, like I remember in like I want to say it was like 89 or 90, this team came about. Like I'm old enough to remember this team coming about, and now they retiring numbers. It's like I might be Unc now. I might
okay.
be.
If we're talking about impact, should they retire Penny's jersey, number one?
Absolutely.
I think so too.
I do too.
And I'm one of those dudes that like think like you really got to do something for a team, and Shaq definitely did something for a team.
Mm-hmm.
He really only played there for 4 seasons. Is 4 seasons enough to get your jersey retired? Like we see all these.
If you break 4 rims in those 4 seasons,
yeah, yeah, because nobody was talking about Orlando before Shaq came.
True, no doubt about it, But I mean, me and Dizzle definitely agree on this about all these dudes in the NBA getting the thank you video messages. Like Dylan Brooks got one from the Grizzlies. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Like everybody get one. Like Kyrie got one when he went back to the Celtics and he played there for 2 seasons. Like, what is going on here?
You know what's funny? Remember what Draymond Green said to Paul Pierce? He said, "You ain't Kobe. They don't love you like that." I said, "Yo, this dude's a menace."
Speaking of Draymond, can I get where the round of applause at, man? Draymond has been reinstated. What was it? A 12-game suspension. He is eligible to come back. Kev, I think you was one of the ones that was like 25 games at least.
Get him out of here, man. Get him out of here.
12
Get him out of the league. It's not enough, man. He out here.
Draymond acting like a pit bull dog, man. He wild.
He is wilding, bruh. He is wilding. This is beyond physicality of sports. This is beyond the realm of basketball. Dude is out here wilding. And I know that Golden State wants him back because they stink and they need somebody to help them win basketball games.
They're not going to let Draymond do another hard foul this year, though.
Hey, you know what? Since he is in this suspension round, every single time, man, every time you get a flagrant 2, it should be a 2-game suspension.
Whoa, you sounded very conservative right now.
Yeah.
When did the Republican Party join the podcast? We believe in tough discipline. Okay, that's what's going to restore America. But nah, I would respect it if he was doing that to people like Udonis Haslam. You know what I mean? That he know that will bust their head back, bust his head back.
James Johnson just signed a deal with I don't know who he signed with. He ain't played a minute. He there for security.
Ain't he like a part-time UFC fighter?
Taekwondo master. Like he got some belts. I don't know what he got, but
nobody fuck with him
at all. At all.
Hey,
at all.
This what, Kev, I see you in front of your sneaker collection. But this is another conversation. This is what I thought about. Now I know he doesn't have as many shoes in his collection, but yo, if we be honest, people, as much as we exalt Jordans, Pennies in terms of dopeness of sneakers is right up there with him. And the majority of his sneakers is probably killing the Jordans.
I wouldn't say that. But definitely like Penny is number 2. He's number 2. He got obviously the Penny ones, the phone posits, all them fire. But it's Jordan, Pennies, and then probably Kobe's for me at least.
So you don't think none of Penny's shoes can compete with Jordans?
The Penny one would be a top 5 Jordan shoe for sure. Penny
and
one.
not any of the phone posits.
The phone posits for sure. They over here somewhere.
So that's 2 because you just mentioned 1 pair.
Yeah, the phone posits is legit. But
and they durable as hell.
Oh yeah, they basically boots. They Timbs with. But I mean, I'm just saying, man. MJ just got that heat, man. He just got that heat.
I mean, he got a couple Rudy Poos in there too, though. I mean, over 12 to 13 in there. You know, it's some trash that's snuck in.
You're gonna get your misses. I
Yeah.
mean, to be perfectly honest, they need to stop making the new ones. Like
Dog,
I seen,
listen.
the Jason Tatum's is just horrible. Like the Jordan 55s, whatever they still dropping, trash.
At this point, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, remember when we came up? If you had a pair of Jordans, you got the floss for a whole year till the next one came out.
Facts.
Now, I mean, it's like they got pay scale Jordans. If you broke, you get the Mexican Jordans, you get the team ones, you get the exclusive. I mean, it's just too many stories and behind the colorways. You got the Harriet Tubman joints, freed the slave. Hey, I don't want to hear these backstories. Just stop coming with all these Jordans, dog. It's too much.
Yeah. That's why I can't keep up. I cannot. There's no way. Like, I know my two favorite pair of Jordans. I don't own either pair, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Man, what y'all think about Giannis talking about he thinks about losing to the Pacers multiple times this season? Their record versus the Pacers is 1-4. He said he think about the Pacers before getting it on.
Yeah, they in trouble, man. Dame is looking a little washed. Dame is looking like he lost a step. I don't know if they still trying to figure it out. But yeah, Pacers is here.
I ain't never thought about 5 nor 12 dudes before I got it on.
Hey, you know what that's off of? What that made me think about? That made me think about House Party 1. Remember when he was like, yo, man, when I be with my girl and I be dang near ready to wax that, he said, you must got a mental block or something.
Yeah.
So is Dame washed though? Did he spend too many years in Portland? He gave Portland all his good years?
I don't think so, man.
I don't think so either.
They're 25-11.
Yeah.
They're 25-11.
Do you watch the games?
Yes,
you can look at Dame and see something.
I have league
but
pass
sometimes you just don't gel with other players though.
I still have my free league pass for another 30 days, so I'm still rocking out. I mean, no, I don't think he's like balling like he did with Portland, but like he has to share the ball now. So like he don't have an ultimate green light to just, hey man, move. I'm shooting it. I'm just gonna score whenever I want, do whatever I want, play with a new team. And it's really only been the Pacers that have done them like this. Like the Pacers done them dirty. And everybody else, they handling business verse. I mean, they had a trash game against the Rockets last night, but like that's gonna happen. It's the association, man. 25-11. They sitting in the second spot. It's January. Relax.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and he playing with Giannis Nigerian, man. I don't know if you know much about Nigerians, man. They known for scamming and being a little.
Nah, that figured out. Better than my Lakers, man. I can't say. We don't even gotta talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it though. According to ESPN, they said the Lakers have a 12% chance of making the playoffs, which I think is cap. They're gonna make the playoffs. Lakers always make the playoffs. Bron will be fine. But where you at with the Lakers, man? You biting your nails? You scared? You nervous?
Man, I saw their record. I was like, yo, these dudes is what, like 17-17? I didn't know they was that bad.
Yeah, I think they done lost a few after that.
Yeah. What y'all think of the in-season tournament? The fact that players didn't even know what was going on, it's like, this is how you know the NBA ratings are bad. They had a March Madness tournament in like September.
Right.
Nah, I fuck with the in-season, not just because LeBron got him another ring, but it brought back the competitive spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it brought back, some mojo, and right now seems like the early season of the NBA. Like it's just like the dog days of the summer. Like dog days of the NBA season, kind of like inverse. Like so, you got super competitive just started, and now that that's over, Cass is being lazy, and they're gonna ramp it up back in March. So like that's why I'm not worried about the Bucks. Like I'm just not worried because I know once crunch time come, they're gonna turn it on.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. The NBA season is way too long for you to care about it for the duration of the season, and it makes for like terrible sports talk, because like after 3 games of the season, you had these pundits that are just like saying stuff just to get like views, and it's like, are they done? And it's like, yo, they're 1-3. Like, what are we talking about here?
the last week before playoffs, everybody's praising them, and
Yeah, like the up and down. This, I think, to me, the most hypocritical was, remember when they was dragging Kevin Durant through the mud when he went to Golden State, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then once they made they run, he's the best player ever. It's like, dude, what are we talking about? You all just said that he was trash for going to Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
Pendulum swing so
Yeah.
fast, man. And the NBA is not like the NFL where you can go week to week. Like they play on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So like, let's get through a whole month of the season before you start talking about like how the team's gonna be in the playoffs.
Right.
Who y'all got for the national championship tomorrow?
I'm rolling with Washington. Because we can't have some
cheaters
cheaters win. Can't have some cheaters win, dude.
Hey, speaking of suspensions, how you get suspended 2 times in one season?
They gonna end up winning, man.
Nah.
No. Michael Penix's about to be out here throwing these dimes.
Michael Penix, he's spinning it, man.
Man, and he got real hood on his interview after the game. Said free the homies.
He did. Free the homies. Free the homies.
Free the homies. Free Big Hooley. Like, man, he was like, what up, Tampa? Talked about he got real hood. I'm sure his NIL people like, hey man, don't do that no more.
Hey, not the hood. Yeah. I mean, because they beat Alabama, but they quarterback. Come on, man. It was, and now don't get it twisted. Michigan's defense is solid, but I mean, I don't think you get props for beating Alabama though.
That's how they do in the SEC. You're an SEC man.
I am, but no, come on, but this isn't. This wasn't typical Alabama.
I agree. I agree. What you watching on TV, man?
Man, what am I watching? Raising Kanan.
Yeah. Do you watch all the powers?
Nah, nope. I've never seen it. I just been watching Raising Kanan. I've been watching the Amazon Prime on Colorado. You know, have you seen that? Yeah. I wanted them to do good, and the bottom fell out real quick.
Real fast.
Yeah, real. But I felt like it was just too much pressure to maintain. You know, I mean, like every for 4 straight weeks, you had The Rock, I mean, it was just way too much.
Everybody was celebrating before that USC Oregon time spot on that schedule. So
hey, that Oregon game, I just had to turn that off. I felt like I was watching my uncle get beat up. I said, this is horrible.
Yeah. They turned into a HBCU. All the black community jumped on them, was like, yeah, we here, we coming, we here. And then, like you said, that Oregon game came, and then, you know, the bandwagon was over. But the bandwagon fans will be there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think it's ultimately good for college football because it brought more eyeballs that don't care nothing about college football to the TV set. And then they left after the Oregon game.
Hey, after that Oregon game, it started being them D-list celebrities started coming up. You was like, oh, that's old boy from the Parenthood. I ain't seen that since night to do with the braids. You know.
It's stupid.
But they should be solid, man. You know, NIL changed the game, man. You know, you could build a winning program overnight now with this NIL.
No doubt.
Yeah.
What you think you would have got on the NIL circuit back in your track days?
Chicken wings. A chicken wing meal. Yeah. Probably not too much, man. some free food and some running shoes. That's it.
Man, couple quick hitters before we slide up out of here, man. Best Buy, they are doing away with DVDs and Blu-rays. They're not going to sell them in-store or online.
What's a Blu-ray? I didn't know niggas still sold Blu-rays.
Yeah.
I don't even have the new Macs. I don't even have a way. You know, you can't even put a USB drive in there.
I still have mine. It's hard for me to let go, but the dog not trying to let go of the Blu-ray either. But no, I still have mine.
You jump down the steps. No, I I actually went to get a new iPad last week, so I'm at Best Buy, and I'm just, you do the walk through the store. Like, it's a totally different setup than it used to be. Like, you used to have your CDs and your DVDs and all this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Best Buy don't sell nothing but TVs, computers, and dishwashers. That's it.
Yeah, I went back to the stereo section one time, and I found vacuums and cleaning detergent. I'm like, what's going on?
The game
No
didn't
more.
change. The game didn't change, man. All right, BG. He taking shots at Lil Wayne. Did y'all think BG would get out of jail and start dissing Lil Wayne?
It ain't nothing, man. Just a way to get some views. Because I think he came out with another song saying that he loved Lil Wayne. So just that fast, yeah.
Wow.
All will be fine when we hear at the beginning. All will be fine. All will be fine. As soon as Wayne drops something else.
I hope so, man. Mark, one more time, man. What you got going on this weekend, man?
Man, this weekend I am at the Attic in Columbus Attic Comedy Club in Columbus, and then I'm doing a show at the White House with Brandon White. So it'll be Howie Bell, and I'll be hosting it. I think that's 7 or 8 p.m.
Nice.
on Sunday the 14th.
Nice.
That's what's up, man. Shout out your Instagram and your Twitter and your X and your YouTube so people can follow you, man.
Yes, Instagram, everything is Comic Mark Greg.
Nice.
Yep, very simple. And then next month, February 16, 17, I'll be at the Dayton Funny Bone. So that'd be Friday, Saturday. So listen, man, it's Valentine's Day weekend. Bring your ladies, you know what I mean? Your little and pull up.
Nice.
Yeah. Speaking of that, man, at your shows, man, what do you enjoy more, working new jokes or crowd work?
I think I like I would probably say crowd work. I love just jumping into the crowd because it's almost like, let's just see where this goes, So that's I love that more than anything.
Have you ever had a situation with a heckler?
Yeah, I have.
You want to elaborate?
But no, you know what? Have I ever had it?
No, he in the no.
Yeah, now they're dead. No, I'm just saying. Yeah, so for me, like if you say anything, like one of my strengths is my spontaneity. So if you say anything, you really playing into my strengths. You know what? I will say this though. I was doing this show. You all know Rob Stapleton, right? I think he came to Wright State a couple of times.
Yeah.
Rob,
yep.
Okay. So man, he has a show in the Bronx, and it's like this is probably one of the dopest comedy nights in New York City, but it's also the hardest because it's really like doing comedy in like a Dave and Buster's in the sense of it's huge, and the DJ, listen, this DJ is bananas. So he spins for 30 minutes. Then Rob come out and does, just all of these games. Before they start the show, they got pyrotechnics, so like flames and all of this, right? So, and comedy is really about intimacy. So the people in the back, like legitimately, imagine how big Dave and Buster's is. You're trying to do comedy at. So the first time I did the joint, I got a standing ovation, which is crazy in that spot. And the next time, they just wasn't feeling me, and the dude was like, "Boo!" And I was like, "Sir, my confidence is too high for you to boo me. You're not bothering me." You know what I mean? So that was the situation. But other than that, I really feel like what we call hecklers in comedy really isn't hecklers. Most of the time, these people be drunk and they think they're adding on. But I do feel that if you're being heckled, you just gave that person the opportunity to laugh. But if you're getting like constant, like laughter back to back to back to back, people don't have an opportunity to. But you do get rowdy people though, because if you go to the Funny Bone, the second show, those people are just sitting at the bar chilling. So they could be 2 to 3 drinks in, and then the show starts. Now they 2 drinks in, and if you closing, they faded at this point. So they have no idea what's going on. So I think a lot of times what you see in comedy, it's not intentional. It's just par for the course.
That's killer. Killer like to go to that 10:30 show at the Funny Bone.
Oh yeah, that's when it's live. That's when it's live.
Yeah. Come on, man. You can't be your name can't be Killer, and you going to a 7 o'clock show. That don't make sense. So,
I am
Killer's
a
going to the late stuff.
7 o'clock
Yeah,
show.
I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah. You tuck it in early.
Yeah, let me go ahead and get out of here with the riff-raff. God damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, Dizzle. You on the early side too.
Yep.
The youngest one on the pod. Go to the early show.
But you know what though? I just thought about this though. My scuffle game joke that came about because of a situation that I instigated, and this wouldn't even I wouldn't say this. If anything, I was the instigator. So I'm hosting at the Columbus Funny Bone, and man, this dude had on probably the worst outfit ever. It was like a horizontal striped shirt, plaid hat, just terrible. So every time I came out, I hit him with another joke like, "Oh, I forgot to say this about your pants. I forgot to say this, right?" And he with his girl, so he just got mad. And I think this may be my 4th time stinging him. He stood up and was like, "Man, you gonna leave me alone, man? Stop, man. Stop talking about me." So I hit him with a joke, boom, 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 and got out of there. But it was like that split second where it was like, "Ooh, it's kind of ugly right now." You know what I mean? And yeah, luckily I handled it.
Yeah. One more before you go, at least from me, man. So 2 of the recent comedy specials I watched from people that I love in comedy, I didn't think they were funny at all.
Okay.
I didn't think Dave Chappelle's new comedy special was that funny, and I didn't think Marlon Wayans' newest comedy special was funny at all. Like I chuckled, but it wasn't this to the tier that they're normally putting out there. From your perspective, like what happens like when, you know what I'm saying, greats like that don't put out a home run?
Yeah, I think like so the landscape of comedy is changed, you know. So so I didn't see Marlon Wayans, but Chappelle's special is like when you see like a lot of have you all seen these clips from what's it called? Don't Tell comedy, right? We familiar with this?
I'm not.
Okay, but it's very reminiscent of some of the comedy that you see in the New York comedy scene, which is high in point of view and perspective and how they feel about the subject, but the punchlines may not be boom, boom, boom. So that's where Dave Chappelle is, you know. I saw his last special. I thought the first joke that he did about the trans joke, I thought it was hysterical. You didn't see it coming. And yeah, after that, it was cool. You know, it was cool, but I thought it was dope to see Dave like not as serious and just kind of being goofy again, you know, because prior to that, it was like very weighty and tackling heavy subject matter. This special, he just seemed like a goofy dude, goofy comedian again. But no, I agree though. But I think that's why though. I think like the landscape, you know how like hip hop changed from like gangster to like, oh, okay, you don't have to be gangster no more. You could just do dope content, right? And that's kind of where we are now, where like they didn't care about, to your point, remember when it was like 05, you had to be legitimately street, and if you wasn't writing your music, you was trash. Now it's like a free-for-all. You just make dope content. Right. So just how hip-hop changed, that's kind of where we are with comedy, where it's like the audiences and the decision makers, like you don't have to be hysterically funny anymore. It's kind of like just teach us something. Tell us something. We would rather be informed more than we'd rather laugh. And if you could make both happen, cool. But that's it.
Okay. Enlightening.
Yeah, enlightening.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. Another episode of You Can't Make This Up podcast. Kev Nash.
DJ Killer Kev.
Hey, Dizzle.
We out till next week, and we want to thank our guest, Mark Gregory. We definitely appreciate you, brother.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. See y'all soon.
Yes, sir.